Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. I'm your watch guy today. The watch that I am reviewing today caused a little bit of a stir early in the week. I released the unboxing video on Monday, but I have had this watch in for about a week and a half now. This is available on Kickstarter and it's from a company called Olto-8. Now, I dubbed this as an affordable Richard Mille. And since then, I've come around to thinking that it's probably more of an affordable 7 Friday homage. But it's got its own little quirks, it's got its own little features. It's amazing. I absolutely love it myself. Spoiler alert for the review, obviously. It's going to be one of those that you either love or you hate. But I think for the price that they're offering this at on Kickstarter at the moment, I think it's definitely an option that a lot of people should be considering for a feature piece in their collection, because that's exactly what this is. This is a feature piece. Now, Olto-8 have sent this to me for review and I don't have to send it back. Therefore, you'll have seen that little sign in the corner, but that will not affect my opinion of this watch. I'm going to give you a full and honest review and there will be a moan section at the end, as always. So without further ado, guys, let me turn this camera around and let's get into the review. So guys, this is the Olto-8 Infinity 2. Now, they did have a successful Kickstarter campaign last year with the Infinity, or the Infinity 1 if you'd like. This is their follow-up model and I think it's absolutely brilliant. The last one was a circular design to the casing, but this time they've gone out with a square design and this semi-circle time display for the hours. I absolutely love this watch and I've enjoyed wearing it all week. It's just been such a pleasure to wear. It's so comfortable on wrist, and yeah, it's harder to tell the time on this than a normal watch, but you do sort of get used to it in the end. Now, these are available on Kickstarter now at an early bird price of $329. They are available in different colours. This is the one that I chose. There is a white, a green case, a black case, and a couple of other cases, band options, etc, etc. So check that out on the Kickstarter or on their website, all linked below. The MSRP of this watch in particular is $629. So if you're interested in one of these, I suggest that you pick it up early as possible. This is a limited edition of 500 models. Now, this is powered by a Miyota movement. It's the Miyota 82S5. You know that I'm not a big fan of Miyotas. I'm not a big fan of Miyota 8 series watches. They just don't do it for me. This one is actually in-house modified by Olto-8, which is pretty impressive actually for the price that they're offering this at. Obviously, it's not an in-house movement, but it is in-house modified, so that does give them a little bit more respect in my books. Now, it is a 316L stainless steel case, and as I mentioned, it is in this square design. Very attractive square design, actually. It has a very nice brushed effect to this casing on the upper side, and as we move across, we have a gloss effect to the sides. Obviously, in this blue coating, which is really, really nice. So it is 44.5 by 44.5 millimeters on my measurements. They have this listed as a 44mm watch. That does sound big, it does, but with a 44mm lug to lug, it's very wearable. It's just a little fatter, a little bit more plump. It is 12.6mm tall. Again, very wearable. And we have 22mm lugs on this one. So let's talk about this insane design. It is a really, really attractive watch in my books. It's different, I know that, and it's not going to be for everyone. It's going to be either hit or miss for you, but I personally really, really like it. One other thing to mention is that this is packed with a 2-year warranty on that movement, so you are covered. The crown is positioned at the 4 o'clock, which is unusual, but again, a nice change to the usual positioning. Obviously, they've just gone out on their own and done their own thing with this one, and I really do appreciate that. I think their own design is absolutely fantastic. It's not a screw down crown, it is a simple pull push crown. As we move to the back of the casing, you can see there is a screw down case back, and we have some information around the edge of this casing here. Limited edition, the model number Olto-8, 580M Sapphire Infinity 2, SS stainless steel, automatic. Now, the dial itself is covered by an anti-reflective piece of sapphire crystal, which is a nice sign of quality in this watch, and it is what we are coming to expect as an industry standard now, I believe. It is as I say, anti-reflective. One thing to hit on while I'm talking about that is the lighting on this. I am trying to angle the lighting a little bit differently. I am going to sort it out. I'm going to get a different setup, but just for now, you're going to have to bear with me, unfortunately. But I think the angles are working in my favour on this one. Altogether, this watch case provides the piece with 50 meters of water resistance, which isn't exactly a dive standard or even wet standard of water resistance, but it's not exactly a watch that you're going to take diving. It is more of a sports, occasional wear type of watch. It's not exactly meant to be functional, and you can see that from the design itself. Now, as we move into the dial, there's a lot going on here. So we'll start from the top, I guess. We have a minute track around the outer edge, which is the first layer. Now, that is how you spot the minutes on this watch. I'll just unhinge this. If we spin the minute hand around, you can see it reaches around to point out the markings around the outer edge of the watch or dial. Put that back in. Moving towards the inner circle of this watch, we have these Roman numerals printed to the next layer of the dial from 12 to 12. And as you can see in here, we have 2 hour hands. So this is a semicircle time display. The hour hand will move around, and as this one comes into this station here, this one will take over and complete the next 12 hours. As I say, it's not a very conventional way of telling the time, but honestly, after a week or two, you just kind of get used to it, and it is a really nice feature to have. It's something to talk to people about. It's a conversation starter, and it started plenty of conversations when it's been pointed out for me this week. We have a bridge extending over the dial, which has a nice cutout, almost like an open heart cutout, so you can see into the center of the movement. We have blue style screws. I don't suppose they are heated blue screws. I suppose they're probably just painted, which is all right at this price, honestly. We have the Olto-8 logo automatic printed on this side of the bridge here. And some really nice effect to that bridge, actually, with the design. I believe that's probably printed on to look like it's engraved on the back of a movement, but it's still a really nice feature. Down here at the 6 o'clock position, or conventional 6 o'clock position, we have 20 to 0 or 0 to 20 in Arabic markers. This here is the second hand, and we obviously have printed markings here on the inside too. So there are 3 second hand pointers. They do the exact same thing as the hour hand does and take over from each other as we move along in time. I really do appreciate the hands on this watch because they're very well designed. They are completely different. They almost remind you of an Elise Nardon Freak. That's the first impression that I actually got. The minute hand completely dominates the central position of the watch, the central dial. The hour hand comes secondary, and the second hand is a nice little feature at the bottom. On the lower level of this dial, we have a yellow frame around the skeletonized movement. Again, a very nice feature. It accents very well with the flat black, I think, personally. And I think the colour options on this watch are really, really nice. I think that they've nailed them. As we move on to the handset, how do I go on about this one? Well, as I say, we have 2 hour hands either side here. They are both loomed at the tips. They have a blue border. And as you can see, just sitting on the inside of each, we have an H, which marks hours. The minute hand is the feature of the center of the dial. It's very elongated and points straight out onto the outer edge of the second layer of the dial, onto the top of those hour markings. The circular design really does aid in the function of the minute hand. Over to this side, we have the second hour hand, which is exactly the same as the first, and down at the bottom here, we have the second hands, which are also loomed, but in a stainless steel border this time. The minute hand is also loomed on this one. As I say, it's an absolutely fantastic dial. One thing you will be asking yourself though is, how is the loom on this one? So let's get to that. So as you can see already, it is loomed. You can see the loom signature already. It's an absolutely fantastic loom signature on this one. Let's give it a little bit of blue light. This is another thing that I think they've done really well, is the Lume design. Not particularly like how outstanding Lume is, it's good. As you can see here, it is a really good Lume on this one. It's spread evenly across the indices and the hands of the watch. But I think the Lume shot is something that you're never going to see on another watch, isn't it? Even the Olto-8 logo is loomed on that bridge. I think that's absolutely fantastic myself. Every single hand loomed. Yeah, I absolutely fell for this watch as soon as I saw it. It's insane enough to be perfect for me. It's absolutely gorgeous. So as we move from the casing of this watch, we move onto the band. As I say, these are available on multiple different colour band options, and I think I might actually buy a couple more just to keep this fresh in alternate seasons. The yellow is really, really vibrant. I actually really love the yellow. That's one of the things that sold this to me. It's just, yeah, bright enough to grab the attention of anyone that is looking at your watch, and then you've got this to show them, this absolute masterpiece. So it's a rubber band. It has a colour matched buckle on this one with the Olto-8 logo, and it is in a brushed style. It's very comfortable on wrist, as we have these ridges here, and it almost looks like it's integrated into the case. Of course it's not, but it's given that type of effect. We have two movable keepers on this one also. And as you can see, we have quick release spring bars on it, so nice and easy to change the straps out. And that's one of the things that they've mentioned on their Kickstarter, is that you're more than welcome to purchase another strap to go with your watch on the campaign. Now let me pop this on wrist, on my 6.2-inch wrists. Obviously you're going to think that this is an absolute mammoth of a watch, but actually it wears quite well. So 44mm by 44mm. Now the first part of that looks a little bit big, but I actually really enjoy wearing this. I have on the smaller side of a wrist size, so thin wrists this absolutely works for, and I imagine larger wrists it's going to have enough presence to be pulled off by people with bigger wrists. So I think this is rather universal. It could suit a lot of people. It is an option for a wide range of people. I just absolutely love it on wrist, you know. It's an absolute conversation starter. It's just absolutely beautiful, and it catches the eye. Yeah, very impressed by what they've done here, and I'm very impressed by the price that they're actually offering this at. I did speak to them about that. I said, like, I don't know how you're doing it for this price. And they said, well, they own the manufacturing process, or the manufacturing part of this, so they don't have to outsource to other factories, which I guess cuts down the cost quite a lot and enables them to build something as fantastic as this for a really affordable price. It doesn't escape the moan section, however, so let me get it off first and let's talk about those moans. Now, Olto-8 will not mind this, I don't think, because they did want an honest review. They wanted to know what we actually thought of this watch, or what I actually thought of this watch, and I'm glad that they're open to that type of criticism. Obviously, it's a bigger watch. It is rather big on wrist. You are going to feel it. You are going to notice it. So don't expect this to be wearing like a dress watch or wearing like a 38mm. It does look rather large, but it wears really well. Now, next thing that we have to mention is how you tell the time on it. It's not going to be for everyone. It's not an everyday wear. And the first question that a lot of people have asked me is, how the hell do you tell the time on that? Well, quite honestly, if I want to tell the time quickly, I'll take my phone out. Everyone has a smartphone now. Let's be honest, we don't always wear a watch for the functionality of time telling. We just don't. We wear it because we like wearing it. We wear it because it makes us feel a certain way. It makes us passionate about the mechanism inside. It makes us passionate about the build quality of something that we got on wrist. It's a man's first point of jewelry. It's a way of expressing yourself on wrist, and this definitely expresses itself. Now, thirdly is the movement. Now, I appreciate that it's modified in-house, and that does give it a little bit of extra street cred in my eyes. It has a really lovely rotor on the back, and it's decorated very well. However, it does have the same Myota issue that I always complain about. You can hear the rotor, and it does give a little bit of a wobble feel. So that is not ideal. Although, unlike the traditional 8 series Myotas, it is hacking. So that is a bonus to this one. They have gone with a movement that is affordable, because obviously they want this to be an affordable piece, but they have tried their best to upgrade it, and I do appreciate that. As I mentioned, it's not going to be for everyone, but it's definitely for me. So guys, that is my review of the Olto-8. Please excuse the face where I'm getting a little bit tired now. It's about 12 o'clock, half 11, something like that, so the eyes are getting a little bit weary. But that's my review on the Olto-8. I absolutely love it. I really do. You know by now that I am going to offer an honest review on everything that I get into the, like, I was going to say studio, but it's not a studio. Everything that I get onto my desk, I offer an honest opinion on. This one didn't take me by surprise because I knew I liked the look of it as soon as I saw it on the adverts. But it excited me as soon as I opened the box. It's excited me since. And I just love that it's a conversation starter. Everyone needs one in their collection, a conversation starter. It may not be as eccentric as this, but you truly do need one. If you are interested in the Olto-8, I advise that you get onto the campaign as quickly as possible because the prices will rise. As I say, the MSRP of this watch is $629. However, you can pick it up right now for $329 on their Kickstarter campaign. I believe they're going to be shipping later this year. So this is your opportunity to get in while the prices are rather affordable in my eyes. Everything that you will need if you want to back that campaign is in the description. If you do happen to back it, please let them know that I sent you. That'd just be a nice little tip of the hat for myself. Thank you for watching this, guys. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.